Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. Data Science Day 7. Alright, let's create our markdown file. So what we're going to do here today is learn a bunch of random stuff, but the biggest thing is going to be visualizations. Okay, so there's not a lot of random stuff, but just some random stuff. So one of the biggest things I need you to do is to open up or create an R chunk. Okay, you're going to create an R chunk. What we're going to do with that R chunk, we're going to use a new data set. So I'm going to copy and paste this. You already have the code already in our markdown file. Tidyverse, read Excel, core plot, and you're going to set your own working directory, so on. And we want to get the biology Minnesota birds. Something different. I have some bio students that are in this. I want to be fair. So we'll work with this Minnesota data frame. Let's go ahead and run this. I typically suppress. I should suppress, but it's fine. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and just visualize this real fast. So there's a couple things I want to take note of, okay? One of the first things I want to take note of is that you see the spaces. I want to get rid of those spaces. It's not fun. Another thing that I want to take note of is so if you're taking a bio class, you know about the kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and so on and so forth. I think that's it. These are categorical variables, which is great, fantastic. But at the same time, it's ideal if we could, how do I say this? Just, let's say I wanted a data frame that's only quantitative variables, and I want a data frame that's only categorical variables. We're actually going to do that little tangent in a moment. But before we do that, I just want to get you all to be familiar with this actual data frame. Fantastic. Another thing to note, sorry. These parentheses, we're about to get rid of these. Okay, we don't like them in our names. It makes things a little bit complicated in terms of doing certain analyses. So we want to get rid of these parentheses, and you're going to learn a new function with that. Okay. So here, what we're going to go ahead and do is fix up some of our column names. Column names. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take column names. I'm going to do a little copy and paste in a moment. But Minnesota birds. What I'm going to do is I'm going to replace all my spaces with underscores. Okay, replace all underscores. So this should be the code. Replace all column names. Minnesota birds underscore data frame. Spaces with underscores. That's first. The next one I'm actually going to take a little time to explain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same type of thing. And as you'll notice is that once I replace the spaces, this new data frame will now it'll have only underscores. Okay. Now I want to get rid of, let's say I want to get rid of these parentheses. I want to get rid of the ending parentheses. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this function called string remove. I can use all. It doesn't really matter. It may show up twice. I don't think it does show up twice, but we can just be extra. Okay, I'm going to put column names again. Okay, comma, and what I'm going to remove is parentheses, close parentheses. This is going to give me an error. Alright, so when you see something like this, it's because this is a special character. So in order for a special character means that it's like treated a special kind of way. So what we have to do is use 2 backslashes to make it not a special character. So when I run this, we'll now see that the open parentheses is the only thing that's still left there. Okay. Alright, you can imagine you just copy and paste this. And mind you, we could have done this in one line, but it's okay. I want you all to learn. So once I do this, boom, I now have all of them replaced. Okay, great. Little learning moment. Another thing I want to discuss is this idea of variability. So real fast, this is a stat concept or more so a logical concept. If each of the rows has a unique name, it's an identifier. So this name inside scientific name is an identifier. So if I order this, everything seems unique. Even if it's close to being the same. Okay? I don't like that. I mean, the identifier, it's not I don't like it, but it's just identifier. Even if these two were to be the same, it's an identifier. And if everything else was different, it's an identifier. So in terms of variability, each thing is contributing something different. So it's just an identifier. So information-wise, it's not ideal. Logically speaking, same thing. If there's another column that said 2, let's say this represents each bird. This is birds. Each bird had 2 wings. There's no variability there, so therefore I don't need that variable. That's important in terms of logic, in terms of statistics, in terms of data science, in terms of machine learning. Variables that have either each unique, I don't need. In terms of explaining variability, and each, if there's a variable that has the same value, I still don't need. Okay, just keep that in the back of your mind. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm talking about those data frames that has only numeric values. So I'm gonna call this. I'm gonna say min. I'm not gonna call it yet, but let's mid data frame. Okay, boom. Pipe. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select, but I'm gonna select only if. Select if. I'm gonna select if it's numeric. So is.numeric is a function that determines if a variable or a number or a vector is quantitative. So what I'll do is I'm gonna save this so we don't have to look at it. Num, and that's what I'll just do this. I like to be detail oriented, and then boom, run this. So if I wanted to view this new data frame, I'm going to get only the quantitative variables. All right. However, if I want to only get the categorical or categorical binary, well, I'll just call it catic underscore min underscore birds underscore df equals, okay. What I'll then do is select if, again, I'm trying to get categorical variables, if is dot character. It's the data type. Character, no parentheses. Is dot character. So if it's a character, it's going to give me all the variables that I need. Okay, all the variables I need. So I'm going to go ahead and run this and view this one, and it gives me all my categorical variables. You can imagine this being very useful. Very, very useful. I love that. So let's go ahead and just, we saw the core plot. You know what? I had time. I wanted to show the core plot. I'm not going to. I don't want to make this video too long over material you already saw before, seen before. So what we're going to first do is we're going to learn more about, learn to visualize these 4 different plotting techniques: a box plot, histogram, bar plot, and scatter plot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new R chunk for each, and we'll go through the basics. And I'll try to go slow, and again, you can rewind it if need be. Okay, or take your time, or just go speed through it. So for a box plot, what kind of variable am I dealing with here? Take a moment and think about it. It's going to be quantitative. Quantitative. And I would argue that with a histogram, take a moment, what kind of variable am I dealing with there? If you said quantitative, you're right. And for bar plot, however, this is going to be categorical or categorical binary. And then here you're going to have X is quantitative and Y is quantitative. Okay. So we did this yesterday, but I'm still going to do it again. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Quantitative. Okay. So for the box plot, and that's important because in terms of creating the box plot, you're going to run into errors if you don't know this. All right, so I'm going to go back to the min data frame, min underscore data frame. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pipe this function. So last time I didn't do this, but this is kind of clever. I can pipe it into ggplot. And I'm going to use the function AES for aesthetics. And I'm going to say X. Since there's only one variable, I'm going to say X is equal to length. Let me use one of these. Length, min, okay, plus. So if we didn't change the column names, this will be it's not disgusting, but it's just too much to look at. So we're going to do geom, and for box plot, guess what it's called? box plot. So it's a layer. So we're adding a layer called box plot. And then we're going to add a layer called theme. Again, because I don't like to look at the gray background. Theme, black and white. You can choose another theme, but that's not important. And then here we go. So that's that. In other classes or in other times, I actually make this look prettier, but in terms of time, it's fine. Only thing I can maybe take a small amount of time. If I change this to Y, it's now vertical. Okay. Cool. We can make this look a lot better, but whatever. All right, histogram. It looks very similar. So we do min pipe ggplot AES x is equal to length. We use any of those quantitative, but I'll use length min this time. I don't know if that's different. Geom, because we want to add a layer. Geom, guess what the geom is going to be called? Bar. Geom bar. Okay. With geom bar, however, I don't mind making a mistake. I'm doing histogram. Geom hist. Histogram. Boom. Plus theme VW. Bam. You see it's skewed right, just like how this is skewed up. It's skewed right. This is skewed right. This is positive. Alright, so it's skewed right. So there you go. Histogram. Okay, that's how you would describe this. Okay, let's do 2 more. We're almost there. Yay. So let's do min. This one's a little different. Pipe. Okay, ggplot. AES. X is equal to. Yeah, X is equal to. We'll find out. This needs to be categorical. And the categorical variable that I'm going to use is going to be order. I already figured this is not going to work. I already know it. I already feel it. Geom bar. Yeah, it's bar. And then plus theme VW. And the reason why I say this is going to be a little different because this is not going to give me what I want. No, it did give me what I want. This is quite disgusting. Okay, this is actually a little disgusting. There's a lot of ways to mitigate this. We can change the font size. We can do all types of, jazz. But what I did in my notes before I started this, I did something a little bit interesting. I went back to our previous. I did filter. I filtered on order. So I said order. So technically this did do what I was supposed to do. So that's fine. But I filtered on order and I only looked at the top ones. 1, 2, and I think I mistakenly just did 3. 1, 2, and 3. So the order, if you're familiar with bio, there's certain orders, okay, within a particular species of thing. I don't know. But I need to pipe this. Okay, that would have given me an order. So I should only get 3 bars when I do this. And one's extremely smaller than the other 3. The other 2. Okay, that's good. Okay. We can do all sorts of jazz. We can have the actual count here as well, but that's neither here from there. In terms of time, we saw the scatter plot, so I'm actually going to forgo this one. Okay, but you know how to do it from the other videos, from the other video. I think that's fine. All right. Well, thank you all for your time. I appreciate you watching this video. Thank you.